For the last 3 decades, national service has been there when our country needs it most. AmeriCorps members respond to natural disasters, fight poverty, tutor and mentor students, support veterans when they return home, and so much more. AmeriCorps seniors serve as foster grandparents, help older adults remain independent in their homes, and bring their experience and wisdom to the organizations where they serve. Every year, communities across the country benefit from the purpose-driven work of AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors. In the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors are on the front lines of response and recovery. National service members have been supporting mass care facilities, expanding access to health screenings, conducting wellness checks, and delivering medicine to vulnerable community members. They've helped to address the loss of instructional time by using distance learning tools to help students stay connected and engaged. And they've continued to combat hunger by serving at food banks and ensuring that food is delivered safely to those who need it. Through their service, AmeriCorps members deepen their commitment to community and develop valuable professional and leadership skills. Serving with AmeriCorps can be a pathway to college or a first job, a chance to develop passion and purpose, and a strong sense of civic responsibility. Presidents and members of Congress from both parties recognize the value of AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors. They know the benefits are substantial and the return on the government's investment is significant. In fact, for every federal dollar they invest, AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors return more than $17 in benefits to society, program members, and the government. That's why bipartisan support for these cost-effective programs continues to grow. More than 1.1 million Americans have served through AmeriCorps since the program was established, and today, nearly 300,000 people participate in AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors. Together, they are bringing help and hope to communities struggling with needs that were exacerbated by the pandemic. But there's so much more to do. Let's ensure that everyone who wants to serve has the chance to contribute and grow through the AmeriCorps programs. Voices for National Service brings the national service community together to tell the story of the power of AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors to improve lives, unite communities, and strengthen our nation.
Since 2003, Voices for National Service is building strong, bipartisan support for national service. It's a way in which we build up our nation, we build up our people, and you epitomize the values of this great nation.
When we realize the full potential of national service, the result will be a nation and world that is more tolerant, more connected, and more just. Join us and be a voice for national service.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Voices for National Service Hall of Fame induction ceremony honoring Congressman David Price. Though we're unable to gather as we typically do in Washington for reasons we all know too well, we are thrilled to be able to gather virtually today to recognize one of the most devoted national service champions ever to serve in Congress. Today, it is with deep gratitude that we recognize Congressman Price. Before we start, I want to thank our presenting sponsor, Comcast NBC Universal, along with our other sponsors, the Core Network and With Honor Action. I also want to give a special shout out to our friends at the North Carolina Commission on Volunteerism and Community Service and thank them for their help with the program today. As you watch, I encourage all of you to help us amplify this event on Twitter and share a post congratulating Congressman Price. Don't forget to use the hashtag Friends of Service. Congressman Price is coming to us live today from North Carolina, and our celebration will feature the inspiring voices of AmeriCorps members and AmeriCorps seniors from North Carolina who have played an essential role in supporting the communities most impacted by COVID-19, as well as other state and local leaders who've witnessed the power of national service at this critical time. We are all deeply grateful to the 270,000 members who stepped forward and agreed to serve in a year unlike any other. Their courage and selfless service will be remembered. And with that, let's get started.
Congratulations, Congressman Price. You have been an extraordinary champion for national service, a passion that I have had the opportunity to witness firsthand, and you are incredibly deserving of this special recognition. I am the co-chair of the Voices for National Service Champions Circle, and Comcast NBC Universal is a founding member of the Business Council. I've been investing personally and professionally in national service programs like City Year over the past 2 decades, and I'm proud to currently serve as chair of City Year's National Board. I know that national service is one of the best ways to strengthen our communities and our nation. As a business person, this is an easy government program to endorse because it simply makes good business sense. National service is one of the most cost-effective strategies for engaging citizens, building workplace and leadership skills, improving communities, and strengthening and unifying the nation. We are lucky to have a champion like David Price fighting for us, looking for ways to expand AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors so more Americans can serve, leading to a greater impact across our communities. The Congressman recognizes that service isn't secondary to achieving national priorities, it is essential to achieving them. So thank you, Representative Price, for your support, for your leadership, and for lending your voice to this important cause. Congratulations and welcome to the Hall of Fame.
My name is Jessie Elmore. I currently work at Habitat for Humanity of Wake County as the Director of Construction.
I am Justine Davey. I am currently serving as a school counselor.
I'm Erica Brandt. I work as the Housing and Community Development Manager.
I am Olachi Anamaribe. I am currently working as a project manager for a construction management and general contracting company.
I met Erica and Justine my first year of AmeriCorps. I definitely came in with no experience. We quickly all became 3 best friends and kind of confidants. My second year of AmeriCorps is when I met Olachi, also at Habitat Wake, and we became best friends as well.
I chose to join AmeriCorps because I was looking for a change.
I signed up for AmeriCorps right after I graduated from college.
I knew that I wanted to pursue a career in interior design and construction.
For me, AmeriCorps completely shaped my plans because I didn't really have any. I really wanted to give back some type of way. I wanted to do something I was passionate about.
It was a chance to learn new skills and meet new people.
What better way than to get that training on site?
I realized Habitat for Humanity was the perfect opportunity for me to be able to make this career change.
You really get more back than you give it. I almost feel very selfish having done those 2 years because I flash forward 7 years later and it's given me my career and it's given me great friendships. And so I would not be the position that I'm in right now without that bridge of AmeriCorps.
One of the unexpected things that came out of my AmeriCorps year was the confidence that I gained. And I think that that's something that I've taken with me that wow, I can build a house. I can do a lot of other things too.
Being a young woman on a job site doing construction, a skill that none of us had ever done before and had 0 experience with, the foundation that gets laid in just 1 year can really translate into such a massive amount of knowledge and skill in this industry. And I think that's pretty amazing. It's just really cool what a strong bonding point AmeriCorps and Habitat both are for creating these lasting relationships.
In no other world would these types of people be able to cross paths across social and racial lines in a way that we did on a Habitat construction site.
That physical impact that you're making on a city, like you drive by a neighborhood or drive by a house that you laid your hands on and helped build, that is amazing, really. It's such a powerful way to feel connected to your community.
I actually run into some of the homeowners that I've worked with, and it's awesome because people do remember you. you know that like you had some kind of impact in this neighborhood, you've had some type of impact with this family, and they've impacted you. Like you never forget those experiences. You never forget the time, you know, that you put in and how it's really grown you as a person.
Every step of the way, I have just fallen more in love with Habitat for Humanity and the work that we are doing. When you surround yourself with multiple people that have that same vision, that same passion as you do, it makes work not feel so much like work.
The four of us are proof that with our AmeriCorps experience at the foundation of our careers, like we've been able to do really amazing things. I think the AmeriCorps program, the way it was designed, it really has created this platform where we are building bridges.
Everyone should serve their community in some kind of way. We're all here to lend helping hands to one another. And so I just think it's really important to have the opportunity to serve.
Thank you, Jesse, Olachi, Justine, and Erica for your service with Habitat for Humanity of Wake County and for sharing your story of service with us today. I know I speak for all of us when I say how honored we all feel to have the chance to recognize Congressman Price's extraordinary support for this community. Congressman Price has been a creative and thoughtful champion for national service throughout his career, always advocating for strengthening and expanding AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors with his colleagues and House leadership. He's a champion for AmeriCorps because he knows how powerfully national service transforms people's lives and strengthens our communities, and he regularly visits and serves with AmeriCorps programs in North Carolina. Since he was elected to the United States House of Representatives, he has worked tirelessly to expand opportunities for Americans of all backgrounds to serve. As part of his deep commitment to this work, Congressman Price co-founded and co-chairs the Bipartisan National Service Caucus with Congresswoman Doris Matsui, and is always looking for opportunities to educate his colleagues about the value of national service. Over the last year, because he was aware of the essential role AmeriCorps was playing in supporting community response to COVID, Congressman Price knew this was an important moment for national service. Last spring, as the country was facing mounting challenges associated with the pandemic, Congressman Price introduced the Pandemic Response and Opportunity Through National Service Act with bipartisan support. Based on this work, Congressman Price worked with Senator Coons on a bicameral, bipartisan effort to ensure that national service was included in the American Rescue Plan. The $1 billion investment in national service prioritizes investment in the robust infrastructure of state commissions and programs around the country, and importantly, increasing the benefits for those who serve. Year after year, Congressman Price has demonstrated his commitment to expanding AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors and to strengthening national service. Again this year, Congressman Price has stepped forward to powerfully advocate for AmeriCorps at a critical time for our country, and he's not stopping there. Before we officially induct Congressman Price into the National Service Hall of Fame, we wanted to share some special messages from folks in North Carolina and around the country who wanted to express their gratitude to Congressman Price for his leadership.
Representative Price, congratulations on being inducted into the National Service Hall of Fame.
On behalf of our entire team here in North Carolina.
On behalf of the Appalachian Senior Companion Program.
Teach for America in Eastern North Carolina.
The 9/11 community.
Public Allies North Carolina.
MedServ.
The AmeriCorps program at the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences.
On behalf of 34,000 City or AmeriCorps alums.
On behalf of Habitat for Humanity of Wake County.
On behalf of all of us at Habitat.
Thank you, Congressman Price.
I want to thank you for your leadership.
For being a champion for AmeriCorps.
For being such a champion of national service.
Of the 9/11 Day of Service.
And serving North Carolina's most vulnerable populations.
For your efforts to protect vulnerable seniors.
For co-chairing the House National Service Caucus.
Thank you, Congressman Price, for being a champion of America.
For building a service to career pipeline for an entire generation of future educators, nonprofit leaders, and community heroes.
Because of your leadership, 3,000 City-Year AmeriCorps members are serving more than 300 schools, helping 226,000 students cope and thrive in a year unlike any other.
Your support helps us achieve our mission of creating a more just and equitable society and the diverse leadership to sustain it.
Your support of AmeriCorps helps Citizen Schools carry out our mission to help all students thrive in school and beyond through hands-on learning and career mentors.
With his support, we've been able to enter into 37 clinics across 28 counties in North Carolina.
Thank you for all of your leadership.
For being a champion of AmeriCorps, we are grateful for your support.
Thank you again for your dedication and commitment and leadership to national service.
I know if my father, late Senator Harris Wofford, were with us, he'd want to join me in saluting you for championing AmeriCorps.
Thank you for making our service possible.
To create more opportunities for Americans to serve.
And congratulations for being inducted into the National Service Hall of Fame.
North Carolina is proud that our United States Congressman is being inducted into the National Service Hall of Fame.
This is most worthy recognition.
Congratulations, Congressman Price.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. We are so proud of you here in North Carolina.
Thank you for all the ways you support our mission.
It's been my honor as the Attorney General of North Carolina to partner with you in this important work. Congratulations, Dave.
Congressman Price, thank you for your longstanding belief in the work of this community and to using your platform to advocate for it at the highest levels of government. It is my absolute pleasure to officially induct you into the National Service Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thank you, Anamara. This is overwhelming. I had no idea what this was going to entail, and to see that array of testimonials is more than I deserve. I guess what I can say about this award is I will try to live up to it, because it is a great honor, and I take it as an honor to all of those who make AmeriCorps work, and AmeriCorps seniors, and who make such a daily significant contribution to the lives of our fellow citizens. You are honoring someone who goes pretty far back with this concept and this organization. Almost from my earliest days in politics, I've been captivated by the idea of national service. Back in the time I was party chairman here in North Carolina, and working with Governor Jim Hunt and other people who I very indebted to for bringing me along. I remember the Democratic Leadership Council, national organization that Bill Clinton at one point headed, and national service was a key idea with that organization, and it then became a signature initiative of the Clinton administration, although it was never a purely partisan idea. In fact, national service has always had a strong bipartisan appeal, an appeal across the political spectrum. So we did get that National and Community Service Trust Act passed in 1993, early in the Clinton administration. That legacy continued in the Obama administration, particularly with the Edward Kennedy Service America Act, named after the senator who was such a champion of service and so many other things. That was in 2009. And so this has been going on now for well on to 40 years, since the 80s, when this idea first hatched as something that we could dedicate ourselves to and unite around. And so now it's a major part of American life, stitched into the fabric of our volunteerism and our idea of public service. Every year, nearly 270,000 individuals serve AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors at over 40,000 locations in communities across the United States. So it's a growing number of service volunteers, and it's taking on, these volunteers are taking on some of the most challenging problems we face, as the video indicated very nicely: inadequate housing, low graduation rates, a lack of resiliency in the face of climate change, hunger, poverty, and now, of course, this awful pandemic. But AmeriCorps has been there on the front lines of all of these challenges. And members are stepping up and working daily to fill the gaps in service that the pandemic has created, but also has revealed the kind of pre-existing challenges in the society that the pandemic has cast in sharp relief. And we have recognized that in the Relief Act just passed by the Congress, redeploying AmeriCorps volunteers around the country to pandemic-related tasks and challenges. Also providing for an expansion of AmeriCorps to meet these needs. Some adjustments in the stipends to make it more possible for people of all walks of life to serve and so on. There are a lot of people who share credit for this initiative. The Voices organization has been at the heart of it, and it's been a pleasure to work with the Voices organization. This done. Elizabeth Adkins of my staff has been our lead person. Justin Wing, the chief of staff, has worked on this, as have so many members of my staff. Senator Coons has been a bulldog as a champion of national service. He's a pleasure to work with. And my colleague Doris Matsui in the House, the co-chair of the Service Caucus, and the With Honor organization, I see sponsoring this event today. So many advocates and so many colleagues in both parties, both houses have sponsored this and helped us bring it to fruition. So we're I believe bringing national service to a new level of service and a new level of relevance. Pandemic related, but I think it will last beyond the pandemic. And we're going to work for that, for a robust commitment to national service in this new administration. And as we write our appropriations bills going forward. But this is a real achievement, this Relief Act, $1 billion, and it's going to do a lot of good. And a lot of people on this call are due credit for making this happen. So we can all today use this occasion, I hope, to reaffirm our belief in AmeriCorps and its central goals, giving people in this country, young and old, the means to make a difference, to contribute, to collaborate, to gain valuable skills, and to become part of the fabric of the community where we're responsible for one another, and where we build up one another and we build up our country. So thank you so much. Every community in this nation benefits from volunteers offering their hands and hearts in service. And it's an honor to be part of this, to be honored by this group today. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Congressman Price. And you know we are all ready for the next big push. Now we'd like to turn to our question and answer segment of today's program. Congressman Price, we have a few questions from some of your national service constituents in North Carolina. We'll be hearing questions from Girja Majahan, Caroline Farmer, Robert Clark, and Abby Mulstein.
Thank you, Congressman Price, for your commitment to national service. My name is Girja Mahajan, and I am the Program Director of the Duke College Advising Corps. Can you tell us why you believe young people should participate in national service?
Well, I could probably ask all of you the same question, and I think I would get a range of answers. But I suspect they fall into a couple of categories, and they complement one another. The first is the idea of service, the idea that at a certain point in our lives we decide that we're going to give back to the community that has so nurtured us. You know, I guess some people learn the wrong lessons from having to overcome adversity, but you know, the right lesson to learn, of course, is that others coming behind us deserve the same kind of support, and perhaps more support than we got. That we all have some responsibility for those coming along and those who have similar challenges. And so it is a way of acting on that sense that yes, the community supports us. Hopefully, maybe not always adequately, but none of us get where we are by ourselves, and then we in turn need to smooth the way for others. You know, there is also a more self-interested reason, though, and I think there's nothing wrong in acknowledging that. In fact, there's a lot that we need to say about it, about what AmeriCorps does for participants, the kind of skills it provides, the kind of career opportunities it often opens up, the kind of course, the educational benefits in terms of benefiting from education. Nobody's going to say that you're going to get an overly generous stipend or that you're going to get rich in AmeriCorps, but you're going to get rich in ways that are not monetary and that actually do pay off in later life in the kind of opportunities that it opens up. So I'm sure everybody has their own mix of reasons, but there are plenty of good reasons, and they have to do both with bettering ourselves, but also bettering our community.
Hello, Congressman Price. Greetings from North Carolina, from the North Carolina Commission on Volunteerism and Community Service inside Governor Cooper's office. I'm Caroline Farmer, and it's so good to finally appreciate you for all the service support that you've given over the years. You are the epitome of service, so I'm grateful for your finally getting this award. I do have a question for you. I was wondering if you could speak for a moment about a program that inspired you to be a service champion.
Yes, I know Caroline a long time, so thank you for being here and for the work you do in North Carolina. I did have a little advance notice of that question, and I want to just maybe take a little extra time with it. I'll shorten the others, I promise. But I was during the 80s when I was first getting involved in politics and getting captivated by the idea of national service. I was also teaching political philosophy, teaching American political thought. And this may sound kind of academic, but the idea of national service always struck me much more than most political ideas or most political initiatives. Always struck me as a way of acting on some of those core values in American political thought, and not necessarily what America's maybe best known for, and that is the rugged individualism. That's part of our heritage, but it's not the whole thing, because there are also ideas out there of community, of reciprocal obligation, of responsibilities as well as rights, of the kind of contribution we make to the community as well as the benefits we take from the community. And I've always thought that kind of corrective was needed in the way we think about American life and our place in it. And national service is just the perfect embodiment of that, the perfect embodiment of these ideas of community and reciprocity and mutuality and binding ourselves together, interdependence as well as independence. So that may sound kind of academic, and I guess it is, but I very quickly became acquainted with some embodiments of these ideals. And of course, with the idea of national service, that these volunteers were reinforcing work already going on in the community and making it stronger and making it more effective. Early in my time in Congress, I was interested in the idea of literacy and workplace literacy, and became acquainted with the range of organizations on the UNC campus and beyond working on literacy. And sure enough, there was AmeriCorps right in the middle of that, making it happen. Through my daughter and some work over at Duke University, I became acquainted with the Public Allies Organization. There again, AmeriCorps right in the middle of it, and of course Habitat. Habitat is a powerful force for good in this state as it is nationally, and sometimes I thought that AmeriCorps was the great untold story of Habitat, because right there in the heart of Habitat is the AmeriCorps presence, making those Saturday morning bills don't get set up all by themselves. It's AmeriCorps volunteers who make that happen and make it possible then for others to serve and to serve effectively. So that's my answer. It's a mix of kind of ideas that I've had over the years, and that one looks to implement good ideas in politics, but also just so many promising organizations where the AmeriCorps contribution has been absolutely critical.
Congressman Price, as chair of the North Carolina Commission on Volunteerism and Community Service, I am honored to be included in these festivities. My name is Robert Clark, and in addition to serving as chair of the commission, I am also an elected official currently serving on the City Council in Winston-Salem. Congratulations on this award. You've exhibited a long-standing dedication to national service, for which I and the Commission are most grateful. As an elected official myself, I am curious, what do you think is most compelling about national service to your fellow colleagues on the Hill?
Well, thank you for the question, because it lets me exhort you a little bit to make sure that your good deeds don't go unnoticed. Sometimes, you know, good deeds don't often speak for themselves. Unfortunately, we have to talk about them and beat our own drum sometimes. And I do think AmeriCorps and national service needs to do that. And I do think my observation is that members of Congress do respond to that, but sometimes they have to be told. Sometimes they have to be reached out to. Sometimes they have to be invited to join a project where the work of AmeriCorps is evident. And I've had the benefit of a good bit of that in my own district, and it's important, I think, to engage with elected officials at all levels, and there's often a response, because who wouldn't respond to the picture of activism and volunteerism in the community, and figuring out what does it take to really make that happen and make it effective. And just understanding, meeting the young people and older people who are involved in AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors, and seeing what they're doing. I think you can almost invariably count on a positive response, but the overture has to be made, and the Voices organization, others help facilitate this, but it is kind of a cause, and we need to see it that way. And I do think it's a cause that we can be confident others will respond to.
Hi, my name is Abby Malstein, and I'm an alumna of the Duke University chapter of College Advising Corps. We know that it's important that we take time to educate Congress about the federal funds and programs that help to fuel our work, like AmeriCorps. Do you think we're doing this effectively? Do you have any advice for us about how we could do more to educate the North Carolina congressional delegation? Thank you.
Well, I think that's kind of a continuation of the last question, or at least I'll treat it that way, because I do think often the outreach is effective and people respond to it, but sometimes it could be more. You could more I guess, energetic and kind of creative in the way you reach out and engage people, and I think we all need to think about that. I was struck, actually, during this last year, trying to get the AmeriCorps component of the pandemic response established. In doing outreach on that, I did find that not everyone was aware of exactly how AmeriCorps worked. Some people seem to think we were talking about kind of airdropping AmeriCorps into a pandemic situation and letting them do their thing, whatever that was. It's incredible that there was as much unawareness as there was in some quarters about how AmeriCorps engages with community groups already on the ground, already at work. And AmeriCorps provides the manpower and the woman power and some of the organizational know-how to make these organizations much more effective. And it engages, in other words, empowers organizations of all sorts working in all kinds of areas. Many of them pandemic related. Many of them, of course, will continue. We hope after the pandemic. So sometimes people don't fully realize. I remember once I got a little frustrated with this and was having a visit. The Habitat for Humanity is very good at organizing the annual visits, both in the district and in Washington. And I remember they came in with their usual 3-point agenda, the SHOP program, CDBG, the kinds of things that you expect Habitat to ask for, and that we really can I think gives a strong rationale for a lot of those appropriations. But I remember saying one year, where's AmeriCorps on this list? You really should be. And they didn't disagree. In fact, they readily agreed and said next year it'll be on the list. And it was. the kind of that's a force multiplier in terms of lobbying. It's not just but every organization really ought to think about that, about the role that AmeriCorps plays in making the organization function successfully, and therefore this becomes a resource that you should promote, just like you would appropriations for other related programs that might enhance your work. So I do think sometimes that could be more effective, and I do think we need to really work with our affiliate organizations, the organization that benefits from AmeriCorps' work, to make sure that we're all on the same page in understanding how this works, and also understanding that there's always a need to re-educate a new generation of political leaders, and there's a lot of that work is never done. There's people need to be reminded, people need to be told about things, people need to be invited to come on site, and otherwise to get acquainted with the work of the organization. So the AmeriCorps veterans, AmeriCorps supporters are just wonderful advocates, and the potential for AmeriCorps going on to greater things and greatly increasing of course, it should be much more widely available to young people and others in our country. AmeriCorps has a capacity to do so much more and to mean so much more to volunteers and also to the benefiting communities. But we need to work at it, and you all do work at it, and I thank you for that, and ready to work with you as the co-chair of our caucus in the House to always be thinking about how to improve the outreach and to work with you to make this cause more widely known and more widely supported.
Thank you so much, Congressman Price, and thank you to our AmeriCorps partners in North Carolina for their participation in the program today. Congressman Price, we are so thrilled that you were able to join us live today so that we could celebrate and thank you for your longtime support of our work. We are all deeply, deeply grateful. We do have a few more messages to share with you as a special surprise, so please hang with us.
Hi, everybody. Governor Roy Cooper here. Congratulations, my friend, Congressman David Price. This is such a well-deserved honor. Throughout your career, you've been a champion in supporting national service efforts. I've seen firsthand the remarkable work that our AmeriCorps members have done for our communities, especially in the aftermath of Hurricane Florence. Whether it's helping with food distribution or rebuilding homes, they do what needs to get done, just like you do. And for years, your support has helped them change the lives of people who need it the most. Public service is more important than ever as we continue to battle this pandemic. People stepping up to serve their neighbors and our most vulnerable loved ones has undoubtedly saved lives. Congratulations again, Congressman, and on behalf of all North Carolinians, thank you for the work you have done to better our communities.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored to join you today, especially since Comcast NBC Universal has sponsored the Friends of National Service Awards since 2004. This past year has been an incredibly challenging one and has impacted all Americans in an unprecedented way. At the same time, it has also presented an opportunity for us to come together, support our communities and one another, and has provided the chance for so many people to step up and ask, how can I do more? This year, nearly 300,000 AmeriCorps members and AmeriCorps seniors agreed to serve and help address our nation's most pressing challenges. Comcast NBC Universal thanks you for your extraordinary service. This award celebration is an important reminder that national service has the power to bring us together. Senator Coons, Senator Wicker, and Congressman Price have introduced bipartisan legislation that would dramatically expand AmeriCorps to help communities impacted by COVID-19. Also to strengthen efforts on diversity and equity in national service and help prepare more young people for future work. The team at Comcast NBC Universal is excited that these bills are gaining national attention, but I must say, we're certainly not surprised. Our company has been investing in AmeriCorps programs for 20 years. We were drawn to the public-private partnership and the idea of placing citizens at the center of solving local challenges. Our commitment to service, volunteering, and nurturing entrepreneurs has been part of our DNA since our founding. We also know how effective it can be when we empower our employees to get involved, uplifting local communities through their time and unique skills. Congressman Price, congratulations on your induction to the National Service Hall of Fame. You are so deserving of this special recognition. As you continue working to expand national service, you have a committed partner in Comcast NBC Universal. Thank you, and please enjoy the rest of the program.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Representative Price, and thank you for your extraordinary belief in national service. On behalf of the entire national service community, we want to thank you for your leadership, for your steadfast support, and for the many ways that you've advocated for AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors. So it is indeed our honor to induct you in the National Service Hall of Fame. Much deserved. Congratulations. And to all of my colleagues in national service all across the country, thank you so much for being here as well. And thank you for your service. If you are not currently a member of Voices for National Service, please join us. We need your voice and we need your participation in order to expand national service and give every American who wants to serve the opportunity to do so. Thank you to you all.